All right, guys, what's up? We're live. Where are we at? We're at the 141st installment Unplugged Alpha podcast series. Today we're talking about what doing the work actually means and looks like. Because it's a conversation we need to have because apparently it doesn't make sense to everybody still. So I'm going to define it and get into some examples, and then we'll do some call-in Q&As. Call-in Q&A link is already pinned up to the top of YouTube. I'll drop it in the chat about halfway through the show when I run the ad reel and take a small break, but we'll probably have a good 45 minutes to take in call-ins. All right, let's get started. I've been off for a couple of weeks, had a lot of travel going on, and I got a little more travel in August, so there's going to be 2 weeks-ish that I'll probably be missing running the podcast while I'm away, but you should expect Moff to still run his Moffus hours and probably maybe chopping it up if he does it with one of those generals. But today I wanted to cover this doing the work concept because I've said do the work a lot. I have t-shirts that say do the work on them. People often ask me, all right, well, I see the work that you've done. You know, what does this mean doing the work? How much more work do I have to do? What's involved with that? Can you spell it out for me? And to be honest with you, I have. And it's somewhat I don't know, of a burn when you break it down step by step and then it's not done. Like, you know, for example, I sometimes do these X spaces, Twitter X spaces, and I just run it as an AMA. It's easy for me to do. Sometimes I can even do it when I'm driving because it's just audio. But I had a guy call in one time, stated problem, subsequent problems associated to stated problem. About 30 seconds into the buildup of the story, because that's what it always starts with, right? Like there's a Batman origin story. There's something that leads up to something that's created chaos in the man's life, and then looking for recommendations or solutions to that. 30 seconds in, he says something along the lines of morbidly obese, and then he keeps going. He just skips over one of the main issues that he's got going in his life. I'm like, whoa, stop for a second. Stop. Okay, you're asking about money. You're asking about advancement at work. You're asking about investment opportunities. Like you're asking a lot around the scope of becoming a better version of yourself, becoming a good man that's also good at being a man. But then you just sort of totally breeze over the fact that you're morbidly obese. I'm like, okay, well, how tall are you and what do you weigh? Right? He's close to 300 pounds. Wasn't a super tall guy. And it's like, I'm not even going to answer any of your questions. I don't even want to hear what your problems are until you take your own health seriously. Simple as that. I mean, as a guy that's been an employer before, if I had somebody that was morbidly obese, that had problems getting to work, getting work done, you know, asking for advancements, promotions, may not get things done to the standards that we set, that's a you problem, man. Simple as that. I mean, if you don't respect yourself, your body enough to take care of it, to live in a healthy body that's, you know, in good shape, generally speaking. I'm not saying, you know, be a swimmer, be a bodybuilder. I'm saying be in good shape, look pleasing to the eye, you know, at least to yourself and for other people as well, too. I mean, we know if you're looking for advancements in careers, people that are in better shape get promoted more than those that aren't in great shape, right? Because there's things that are associated with not taking care of yourself, i.e. you don't have a lot of respect for yourself. You don't have good health. Your knees are in bad shape. You could have diabetes. Like it just keeps going down. There's a cascade of problems that pop up after that. And it's like, don't ask me about doing the work if you haven't done the basic shit in your life, right? Move more, eat better. It's surprising to me that stuff like this needs to be spelled out. I'm going to read something that popped up in the preschool of Unplugging. If you're on my email list, I sent an email out today. I think we're probably going to, I mean, we said 250 before, but we'll probably cap it at about 500 free members. The preschool of Unplugging, there's a link on my email list. If you're on it, you should see it. So check your inbox. You can get it now for free, but there's posts like this that will pop up, and it's not irregular. It's more regular than it is irregular. This is the sort of stuff that doesn't happen in the paid groups. This is the stuff that only happens in free groups on Facebook and, you know, stuff like this. And We're giving away some content with the forum video recordings that we had back in January. They're all organized there. There's going to be some other opportunities to get a few other perks when you join the free group. Plus, you can upgrade to the paid group as well too. But this guy writes this out, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, title says "Bitter About Life." He says, "Hey guys, I want to release some steam and know your thoughts. I've noticed that I'm really unhappy with my life. For example, these are some things that have me bitter." You know what? Let's just do the quick definition of that word bitter to clarify for anybody that might be confused. Define bitter.
Here's the definition of bitter: having a sharp, pungent taste or smell, not sweet.
Pungent taste or smell, not sweet. Unfavorable, disliked. You're not going to lean into it. Let's just say that, right? Bitter is a word that you hear a lot from the English when it comes to having either a bitter taste in your mouth with food or being bitter towards somebody, which usually ties into envy and jealousy, by the way. He goes on to say, "I tried to run my own business. I'm not going to mention the niche, and it turned into a mess. And I'm sunk deep in debt. I bought a copywriting course to help with said business and pretty much got scammed. My car is all beat up and I can't afford a new car. My dating life is trash and I'm balding at 28 years old. It makes me angry, annoyed when I look around other guys and I see that they're doing better than me. In my head, I always wonder where did I go wrong and why can't things ever work out for me even when I try? I know the best way to fix this issue is take responsibility, accept it, and find ways to fix the problems. But at this point, I feel lost. I don't know why there's confusion around doing the work. If you're not getting the results that you like if you're not driving the car that you like, he says his car is a piece of shit, can't afford a new car. Dating life is trash. Women aren't responding to him. And why would they if you drive a piece of shit car and you're down on yourself and you don't have a style about your way of living life, just saying like, I'm balding at 28. Who cares? Shave your head, man. It's like, how many fucking times do I have to tell you guys, stop bitching about your hair? Stop trying potions and lotions and comb overs and ways to hide it. You're holding on to scraps. Just fucking shave it off. It's going to go eventually. Just get rid of it. Who fucking cares? It's just hair. The vast majority of women really don't care. And the ones that do, who gives a fuck? Because there's ones that don't care. It doesn't really matter, right? Dating life is trash. Car. I bought a course, says that I got scammed. Well, I mean, you can usually get testimonials on whoever's providing information about solving problems. And the big mistake that I see consistently time after time after time is I see people buying courses or information products from fucking children. If you're buying a course on solving a specific problem in your life from somebody that's like, I mean, I'm older, so I'm gonna raise the bar to a higher age, but under the age of fucking 30 or 35, you're gonna get shit. These people have not lived life. They don't have examples to show you. They don't have a stack of receipts. They don't have a network, and they sure as fuck don't have a track record of success at 23 telling you that they're a fucking billionaire. Look at my Lambo, low bro, right? You fall for this trash. I've tried to run my own business, turned it a mess. I'm deep in debt. I mean, the blueprint to run your own business is in the School of Entrepreneurship, but that costs money. It costs you $1,000 to get that, but it works. I mean, the testimonials are all over the damn page. It works. But this is what you're going to get time after time. You're going to get a lot of complaining. I get guys that'll slide in my DMs with all kinds of stuff all day long, right? They'll send me oh, look at this car, look at this gal, look at this interview, look at this bimbo. And it's like, you're saying something about a woman or a car that you can't afford, or a woman that would never even look your way if she were to see you in person. You have work to do. This is what doing the work means. It means getting acknowledgement and recognition for the existence of your excellence. I often say, like, you want to go forth and be a force of awesomeness in life. And getting stuck or venting about your situation really is not going to resolve anything. I saw up earlier over here. So Chris is in the chat. This is before the show. He says, I'm living proof. I mean, he's talked about it in the chat, so I'm not gonna get into too much detail. Chris, you still owe me that post on Zenforo, by the way. But things going wrong in your life, health-wise, will be very noticeable. You will start to go to the doctor and ask questions about things not going well health-wise in your life. To which point, they have a large script pad that they can write you a whole bunch of shit. Oh, you've got insulin issues, no problem. We'll give you diabetic medication. You've got this, no problem. We'll script you this. You got this, and they'll keep giving you. It's maintenance of like sick care. It's not to resolve your issues. It's to deal with the pain of the issues that you're contemplating right now. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't even need to fucking be dealing with a doctor if you manage your health properly, if you exercise and you eat well. I think the vast majority of people out there moving more, eating better, could make less visits to the doctor, get off a lot of prescriptions that they don't need, and live a healthier life and function much better in every way. Sleep better, strength train better, be more useful at combat skills, fuck better. You can go right down the list. You will be better at every area of competency in your life, making money, right? One of the problems facing a lot of guys today, and I've talked about this in many of my podcasts, they're all free. Estrogeneration, book by Dr. Anthony J. There's environmental sources of estrogen mimicking compounds that lower your testosterone and elevate your estrogen. Do you think that you're going to be motivated to chase excellence and put a dent in the universe if you're walking around with bitch tits and being shaped like a pear and low T and high E? You're not. You're not. But that is what culture, society, and everything wants you to operate in. That's the space that they want you to be in. They want you to be weak, soft, agreeable, and dumb, so that you can, the next time they tell you to stand on your dots and wear a face diaper, like 70, 80% of people did when that happened a few years ago, you'll nod your head and say, sure, how many fucking dots you want me to stand on? You want me to double up on the face diapers? No problem. This is how people usually operate. And it's the ones that step out from the mold. It's the ones that unplug from all this bullshit, that put in the effort, that do the work, that get into the gym and put in the reps, that get into the dojo and take the punches in the face. The ones that will be sitting down on a Friday night at 8 o'clock writing code or putting together content because they want to talk about something that's useful to an audience, regardless of its size, whether it's small or massive, instead of going out and drinking and partying and picking up chicks or getting stoned, like wasting time on things when you haven't accomplished anything in your life already. And I'm saying this to all you guys that send me dumb fucking shit all the time when you haven't got your lives together. I get, the bitter about life stuff, right? Bitter about life, right? Business never went anywhere. I'm in debt, bought a course, didn't do anything for me. Car's fucked up. Dating life is trash and I'm balding. I can solve one of those problems right now. Shave your fucking head, shut the fuck up, move on from that. Your dating life will solve itself when you start making money and you hold yourself in higher regard. Hold yourself in a higher opinion and go and do the work. And you will have a higher opinion of yourself if you are going to the gym and lifting weights, if you're improving your physique, if you're learning how to fight. Can you throw smoke? Can you throw hands, right? Like, do you know what to do if shit fucking hits the fan? Or are you going to be sitting there on social media sending me fucking gay shit of, oh, look at this bimbo, right? You see what I'm saying? Doing the work, guys, means doing the fucking work. It means getting into the arena on the floor and doing the work, not sitting in the stands and watching and doing nothing. It's doing the work. I am shocked when people say, hey, I'm stuck in this area and I want a solution to it. And then I'll say something, that's awesome. I've got 30 hours of material in the School of Unplugging. And there's a 3.5-hour lecture in this one area that you're fucking stuck on right now that details step by step by step how to resolve the issue that you're stuck on. Here's the link. Go buy it. They won't buy it. They won't buy it. Everything sells for what it's worth. For me, I underprice everything. I tend to underpromise and overdeliver on the back end. That's just how I roll. I've always done that with even my debt business. When we used to advertise, we basically say, get out of debt in 3 years for less than what you owe right now. So if you owe $35,000, generally get you out of debt for $26,000, $27,000. You can't even fucking get a debt consolidation loan with a rate that would get you out of debt for less than 70 over that same period of time because the interest. But people want right now. I want an answer right now. The other mistake that a lot of guys make while we're on the topic of doing the work is being an asshole. And what an asshole is they'll ask you a question. They'll go and ask another guy a question. And then they'll ask somebody else a question. And they'll get answers. And usually the guys that have some seasoning in their life, an older gentleman with a little salt and pepper in his beard, let's say, might dispense some advice which requires you to do certain things. And you don't like the things. Rich, I don't like that answer. What are the other options? It's like, what do you want me to do? You want me to fucking do it for you? Right? And then they'll go and ask somebody else, and they'll probably get a very similar answer if they're a seasoned gentleman, along the lines of there's work to do, and they'll point to it. They don't like that. And they go to another guy and they'll ask another guy the same question. They're assholes. They keep going around asking for answers to problems that they're stuck on without doing a thing with the information. That's why when we have these two communities on the school platform that Moff and I put together, there's the preschool of unplugging, and then there's the actual school of unplugging. The actual school of unplugging, you post something and it needs my attention on the discussion board, I deal with it because you're a paid member. The unpaid one, you guys will be talking amongst yourselves, right? You'll get some access to some premium stuff, but very little of it. Everything else is going to be behind the paywall. You're going to get what you pay for. You see what I'm saying here, right? I do these call-in sessions or X spaces or whatever to talk to people out there to see what's going on and offer some free feedback. I mean, you can go to my website right now at richcooper.ca, go to coaching, and you'll see what my rate is. It's not $20 an hour. It's not $200 an hour. It's a fuck of a lot more. And I still get bookings. Okay. You're going to get what you pay for. And again, guys, work is always dressed in overalls all the time. Whatever you're stuck on is on the other side of you doing the work on whatever it is that you're stuck on. And you know what you're stuck on. You know what it is. It's like if you have a shitty car, the problem is you don't have the money to go buy a nicer car. If your car's a piece of shit and it's falling apart, therein lies the problem. Money. You need more money. Money solves a lot of problems. Why aren't you making more money? You bought a course about some sort of copywriting, something or another. That's the other thing too, guys. I've said this before, and I've said this for years now, ever since Tate's Hustlers University, or whatever the fuck it's called now, the real world. There are there's hundreds of thousands. I wouldn't be surprised if there's close to a million people that have bought at $50 a month, learn how to copyright, learn how to edit videos, learn how to do any combination of that, Forex trading, all that other bullshit. I get emails all day long, daily, fucking dozens of them, from guys trying to sell me copywriting, selling me thumbnails, selling me edits and shorts and all this sort of shit. You're not going to make real money doing stuff like that. You're going to make real money learning the concepts that are in the School of Entrepreneurship. That's how you make actual fucking coin. Okay? Bank. Not dicking around, emailing people, DMing them. Let me edit your thumbnails. Let me edit your videos. Okay, maybe you live in a third world country somewhere where $20 USD goes really far. Okay. But for the average guy, which is living in a first world country watching this right now, you're wasting your time. It's not a good use of your time. You have to get good at managing and making sense of these things. You know, paths to wealth, speaking of money, because it seems to be, you know, the one that comes up. Paths to wealth are very cut and dry. And I've talked about it many, many times on many podcasts, many videos, call-in sessions, spaces. I break it down in like an almost 2-hour segment in fucking detail in the School of Unplugging. And again, to go over it, you're talking C-suite jobs, CEO, CFO, CTO. Okay. You're going to have to climb the corporate ladder, get promoted, move from company to company, and improve your position to do that. And there's very, very few of those jobs, and they take a long time to get. Overnight successes don't happen in that area. 10, 20 years, probably 20 years makes a lot more sense. Licensed professionals, doctor, lawyer, you sell financial instruments, whatever. You know, you've got a license to broker something, whether it's healthcare, insurance, accounting, legal services, whatever the fuck it happens to be. You've gone to school for a number of years, you got the degree, you're a licensed professional, but even that has some caps and it has disadvantages, which I've talked about before, which I'm not going to get into again. Another one is controlling an audience. Actors, musicians, influencers, YouTubers, whatever the hell you want to call them, you can make a lot of money if you have a strong audience and a strong message and useful content and good offerings to give to your community. High-end sales, another very simplified one that I've talked about many times, probably the easiest one to get into. I've said many times, if you're an attractive woman, you should be getting into high-end sales in your like 1920s. And a few years into that, you'll make enough contacts. You'll be exposed to some very wealthy men. Doesn't matter what you sell, jets, expensive cars, expensive real estate. You're getting a cut of the commission. So you're making, one, good money, and two, you're getting exposed to wealthy men that you could potentially have an opportunity later on down the road to form something with, right? High-end sales. Talk about entrepreneurship, which is another one. And of course, STEM, science, technology, engineering, maths. I've had guys from the FANG companies, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, the acronym keeps changing, but tech leads and guys in that space that make $800,000, $900,000, $1 million a year working in STEM, right? I don't know what rocket engineers at SpaceX makes, but it's going to be into the six figures, right? You can make some significant money, but the fact still remains the best path, in my opinion, with the most freedom and control over your life is still going to be entrepreneurship. Next time they try to lock you down or fuck you over somehow with something down the road, 3-10 years down the road, whenever it happens to hit us next, you have the most flexibility and freedom running your own business if you structure it properly, the way that I talk about in the School of Entrepreneurship, which, by the way, you get in the School of Unplugging after 10 months of membership. So rather than all the guys that were like, yeah, I'd like to get the School of Entrepreneurship, I don't have $1,000 to buy it when it was offered, just join the School of Unplugging and stay in it for 10 months. It's $129 a month. You unlock it after 10 months. You get the exact same fucking content. You're just paying into it monthly. And you're also getting the monthly Zooms from my experts, and you're getting the 30 plus hours of classroom stuff. You're getting a lot there. It's all there, guys. Going to go to the chat here and see what's going on. All right. What are we at? 22 minutes in. I'm going to grab the link again and post it everywhere if you guys want to call in and ask questions. Call in for Q&A. And I'll drop that in the chat. That's a StreamYard link. You can call in. Make sure you have a good connection, guys, for the Q&A segment. And while I am at it, the School of Unplugging is also here, which I haven't put in the join the. Just going to put SOU. I'm going to spell everything out. Get that. By the way, the School of Unplugging, the price will be going up. Like we launched it at $99. It's never going to be $99 again. It's currently $129. It's never, after we increase the price, going to be $129 again. The amount of value that is in the School of Unplugging is far, far more than what you're paying monthly. Even if you just factor in, taking something like the School of Entrepreneurship, which is, I think it's over 8 hours of content that I've put out breaking down exactly what the blueprint is to create a business and run it and get it off the ground that's profitable, easy, lucrative, and fun. You follow all those steps and just make the monthly installments into the membership, plus you get all the classroom, plus you get all the Zoom calls from the experts, plus you get the discussion board. I could keep going, but I'm going to stop. You get the idea, guys. The link to call in is in the chat. Doing the work means doing the fucking work. Take an assessment of yourself. Take a good look at yourself in the mirror, and that motherfucker back and looking back at you is the one that you hold accountable. If you're not pleased with how he looks, do something about it. You get out of the shower and you look down and you can't see your toes because you got a big fat belly hiding everything. You got a problem. You run down the stairs to go and get something because your cell phone's ringing, let's say, and your tits are bouncing. You got something to do about that because you got man boobs. Lose the damn weight. Change your diet. Remove environmental estrogens from your body. You hear about toxins a lot. Okay, let's use alcohol as an example. Like, in AA, it's like, you stop drinking is step one. You remove the alcohol from your vicinity so you're not tempted to touch it. And then you adopt healthy habits. Okay. You can apply the same thing to money, to your look, to women. It doesn't matter what it is. What is it that's holding you back? Identify what is holding you back. I like chocolate. Okay. Like milk chocolate. Tasty as fuck. I don't have any in my home. My brother keeps some at his house, and he laughs. He's like, you come over here and eat my chocolate. It's like, yeah, I don't have any in my house, so it's intentional that way. So I don't be touching the stuff, and I don't have access to it. You remove it from your house so that you've got the ability to move past, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go get this instead. I got a protein pudding here that I can scoop out, and that tastes kind of chocolatey. It's like Jello pudding, and it's got all the collagen, all the protein that I need. You remove them from your body, you remove them from your vicinity, and then you adopt healthier habits. Again, I like chocolate. I could keep milk chocolate in my house. The shit's not good for you, but instead, in the fridge, I keep my chocolate pudding. It's basically using this paleo protein product over here with a collagen product. You mix them up together, you put them in the fridge, and you get a protein pudding. Is it like milk chocolate? Not exactly, but it satiates and it gives me the protein that I need so that when I'm at the gym or training and I need to repair the muscle, it happens. I take care of myself. I take it seriously. I don't fuck around with it. Do the work. Identify the problem. You don't have the money. Why? What are you doing wrong? What are you missing? What choices did you make that led to the inconsistencies and issues that you have? Your car's a piece of shit. You're complaining about your car being a piece of shit because you can't afford another car. You've got a money issue. Your dating life sucks. Women aren't responding positively to you. Of course it's going to suck. What do you think is going to happen? There's no woman on the face of the earth that gets up in the morning and thinks, I just want a nice guy. I don't care if he's got money or not. They'll say shit like that just to pander to manage reputation. They'll go around going, oh yeah, money doesn't matter. I just want a nice guy, blah, 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 blah. And they'll go and fuck Mr. Exciting because that's how women are. They'll say one thing and do something else, right? Going back to that, behavior versus words. Watch the behavior versus the words when you talk to other people. But it's incredibly important, guys. Identify what isn't working. Identify what the work is. Do you know what the work is? I bet you do, but you're not doing it. You're choosing to do something else. Binge watch a Netflix series. Go out drinking with your buddies. I don't know. It's not what you need to do, though. You got 24 hours in a day. You need 7 to 8 of them for sleeping for most guys. You're going to need some time to eat, deal with basics, cleaning, shitting, going to take a shower, whatever. Then you have all the rest of the time to fill with what exactly? What are you filling that time with? Show me what you're doing with your time, and I'm going to show you what kind of results you're going to get 6-12 months down the road. Show me the people that you surround yourself with, and I'm going to show you the kind of results you'll get 6-12 months down the road. See what I'm saying? All right. I'm going to run the ad reel. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to take a little break, and then we'll do some Q&A. Again, guys, the link to call in is pinned live at the top of the YouTubes, and I dropped it in the live chat, so just scroll up if you need to find it, but it's a StreamYard link. See you guys in a minute and change. This episode is sponsored by richcooper.ca. Brothers, if you're like me and take what you put in your body seriously, you're going to want to use the Unplugged Alpha supplement line. An obsession with absorption is what sets this line apart from the others. You want to make sure that you absorb as much of the supplements as possible so you don't end up peeing out expensive urine. My supplement line is made in the United States from the highest quality domestic ingredients, and unlike cheap supplements from China in plastic bottles, mine ship in dark glass bottles to keep your supplements fresher, longer, and won't seep endocrine disrupting plastics into your supplements. Nothing is a hard tablet. Everything is in an easily digested, bioavailable capsule. You can filter all products by their various categories, including testosterone support, estrogen metabolism, fat burning, immune health, sleep support, and performance. Visit theunpluggedalpha.com/shop and use the subscribe and save option over here to get 10% off your supplement order, or use coupon code ALPHA10 for 10% off a one-time order to try it out. Men, if you want to know everything that I know today that I wish my dad taught me in my 20s, join the School of Unplugging. There are over 30 hours of lessons currently, a well-organized discussion board, and weekly Zoom calls held by experts with backgrounds in strength, nutrition, finance, investing, and entrepreneurship, all for one low monthly membership. Visit richcooper.ca and on the courses tab, hit the School of Unplugging and get started here. Guys, make sure you visit my website for my communities, requesting a private one-on-one consultation, or learning about my future events. And don't forget to opt into my email list over here to get my newsletter. Let's get on with the show. Jake left a comment here I want to read. What's up, gentlemen? Just do the damn work. Suffer through being a loser or suffer through improving. Take your pick. When you have work to do, you are either going to find a way to get it done or you're going to find an excuse. People go, oh, how do I get motivated, Rich? You know, how do I do the work? You know, I get distracted easily, blah, blah, fucking blah. The answer remains the same. You're either going to find a way to get it done or you're going to find an excuse and a reason as to why you can't do it. There's no in betweens. It's very clear. There's work that needs to be done. What side of the fucking equation are you going to be on? The doing the work the side, or are you going to be on the fucking sitting in the stands doing nothing with it, masturbating? You need to be on the doing the work side, gentlemen. That's where the ROI is. That's where you get things done. That's where the money is made. That's where the health improves. Boom, boom, boom. Justin, I'm going to pull you in first. Again, guys, the call-in link, the Q&A call-in link for StreamYard is in the live chat. You can click that and pop on in. What do you got for me, Justin?
Yo, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All good? Yeah. No, I was just listening to this while literally I was just doing yoga because I got done Muay Thai last night. I'm hurting like hell the day afterwards every time. But there was something you said about this guy had a bitter taste in his mouth.
Bitter, yeah.
You know, I used to be like that too. Yeah, and I still am like that. So this is more like a short comment. Like, if you're a young man and you're angry as hell, that's because you should be angry as hell.
Mm-hmm.
If you're young, you kind of should be broke. You shouldn't have access to all the women you want to be with. And that's a good thing because it gives you the will to do something better. You know, when I was watching your show a while ago, you mentioned how when you were younger, you used to watch people drive by in supercars and say, fuck them. I want to own that. And since I watched you say that, like now when I drive around, I see somebody in a supercar, I go, fuck them. I'm going to own that car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when you're angry, you use that anger to fuel progress. You know, last night I was in Muay Thai and I dropped my hand while we were doing some kicking exercises. The coach walked right by and he punched me in the jaw just in the middle of the class.
Yep.
And he said, keep your fucking hands up.
Yep.
So guess what I did for the rest of the session?
I
was like this. He came by again. He went to hit me. I slapped it away. You know, when somebody hits you when you're down, that's a good thing because you can fuel it to grow stronger. You know, and I feel like so many men, they just get in that despair, you know, and they don't actually use it as fuel. So it's just something I noticed and I wanted to comment on.
That's a really good point, Justin. Thanks for chiming in, man. I appreciate you contributing today. Thanks.
Have a good one.
Yeah, he he made a really good point, man. You know, I've talked about this. I remember being like a teen. I used to work at a nursery, right? So, you know, there's a lot of physical labor. You'd work in a greenhouse. You'd pick up heavy shit, move it around, bags of whatever. 5-foot park bench, weighed a ton, and everybody bought one at the time. And I used to have to take the bus to get to and from work. I know that some people might live close to work. They might have the luxury of a ride. My parents are never like that. They're like, just either walk or take the bus. So I'd be sitting there at the bus station. And for me at that time, when I was like 15 years old, because you had to hit 16 to have a car. For me at that time, the 88 convertible IROC was a car for me. Okay. Let me see if I can look one up real quick, just so I can give you a visual, because I know a lot of you guys are a bit younger. RXZ convertible. Yeah, so this might even be my car over here. Auto Hunter. That's interesting. So this is what it looks like. So come on, open that up. Anyway, it's not opening up. It's stuck on the other page, but you get the idea. So it's that white one there, right? That's what it looks like, straightforward. I'd be sitting there at the bus stop, and every once in a while, and these cars weren't that expensive, but to me, 20 grand at the time was a lot of money. Okay. I mean, you know, when you're 15 years old, 20 grand's a lot of money. It's probably a lot of money for a lot of people today still, but sitting there, it's probably the equivalent of 40 grand in today's money with inflation corrected. You'd sit there and you see this guy pull up. nice looking car. It's got a nice burble in the V8. He's got a hot girl in the passenger seat. He's a good looking dude. He's jacked. And I'm sitting there at the bus station twiddling my thumbs like a douchebag, admiring his car and his life. I would trade my life for his life, the drop of a dime, just to drive away in that car. And I got mad. I did. I was like, I'm working at a nursery, picking up heavy shit, putting it down, moving around. It's like I'm doing a workout for a minimum wage. And we got paid, I don't know, maybe $3 an hour at the time. Again, inflation, all these things change over time. So imagine $3 an hour and how long that would take to buy a $20,000 car, not even contemplating the other expenses that you've got, right? Because I had to pay for my own school. I'd pay for my own books. My parents were charging me rent by the time I was like 16, 17 years old, because that's just how they did shit. It wasn't rent. It was like their argument was like a contribution to the household sort of thing. So I got mad about it, man. And, you know, that kid Justin's absolutely right. You should be mad about shit that you're not happy with. You should be, because otherwise you're not going to do anything about it. If you're content, why would you do anything about it? If you're unhappy, then you're going to do something about it. If you're bitter, I don't know. Bitter's not a good area to be in. Bitter's like one of those areas that is closely associated to resentment. Yeah, definitely envy and resentment is where bitter goes to. You don't want to be in the bitter zone. You definitely don't want to envy. You don't want to resent, be, you know, in a spot where you're going to do things to sort of like jeopardize their shit. I did a podcast once. It's one of my favorite ones. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to write an email and I'm going to send it to my list about the podcast that I did on envy, because I went through this book summary I got forwarded to me on Robert Greene's stuff, and it was a really, really good breakdown. And that podcast is still one of my favorites that I've done. Like, I've done 200 plus episodes of different podcasts over the years. This one on envy is by far, I think, the most useful. And you guys should, if you're not on my email list here, let me just put it on the banner over here so you can grab it if you're not there. Is it this one? Yeah, there you go. So you get the chapter on red flags in my book, but I'll shoot out that email with the podcast on envy. But getting mad about it is definitely far, far better than being bitter about it. Bitter sucks. Bitter is just like, you just wallow in it. It's just not a good place to be. But getting mad is okay. I think anger, you know, I've said this before, anger is a legitimate response in the face of an injustice. And that's why you get angry. It's like, why do I got to take the bus and that guy gets to drive the nice car? And then you come to the realization, well, it's because I'm 15, I'm making $3 an hour. I don't even have a driver's license. This guy looks like he's in his, you know, late 20s, early 30s. He's obviously done some work, made some money. That's why he's got the car and he's got the lifestyle and the gal and whatever else that comes along with that. So it's very, very simple, guys. Very simple. Just do the fucking work. Get mad about it if you got to, but do the damn work, man. You know those posters? I don't know if, you know, you guys do this today anymore, but we used to go to these model shops, and you know, we used to be able to go through this like accordion of different posters that were up. And there was posters of jets, posters of cars, posters of girls on cars, bikes, stuff like that. There's always posters there of exotic cars, and I don't see it in kids' bedrooms today. Like when I, you know, see nephews and nieces or friends' kids, you know, they don't have these posters anymore. I don't know why it is, but we used to put posters. It was like that Lamborghini or you know, whatever it happened to be, like, you know, the Porsche. Like there was this one poster of the Porsche Turbo, and it was catching air over a hill. Some of you will know the one that I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think it was an ad. There it is. Comes up right away. This one. Why isn't it? Oh, it's Etsy poster. Yeah, there we go. Here, I'll throw it up on the screen so you can get it. So this is one of the ones that I had up, you know, at one point. The caption on this, I don't know if you'll be able to read it. It says, "One ride and you'll understand why most rocket scientists are German." You can see all four wheels are in the air. That car is flying. I don't know what year that is. It's probably like a 80 something turbo, but it's got the big whale tail, the fenders, and all that sort of stuff. I was never really a big Porsche guy, but until I got the Turbo West, like one of the things that I was thinking about was that childhood poster of the turbo up in the air, like flying over some kind of a ridge. Don't ask me why, but that association always connected me to that car, just like the Lambos and everything else that you would see out there, right? McLaren wasn't a thing when I was a kid, but I do remember going to London in England to visit the only McLaren dealership that had the F1 at the time, when it had that BMW V12. I think that was 90, I don't know, 91, 92 or something like that, but you get the idea. Let me grab a few other guys to call in. So guys, the link to call in, it's pinned at the top of the live chat. Let me grab it again. Invite, copy, Q&A link here. All right, grab this if you guys have a question. I'll grab DL Saint here. I haven't seen him for a while. DL, what's up? Haven't seen you on in a bit.
What's good, brother? I've been doing the work. I've been doing the work, man. You know what that's like. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, man. I just wanted to comment on what you're saying, bro, because you were 100% one of the main people that kind of got me motivated to want to get out here and help others. Help some dudes. I'm always, giving you shots out. You probably can't see it, but I got Unplugged Alpha right over my shoulder there. Yep. I'm always telling people to read that book. But what I'm finding is, man, if all the guys I bumped into in the Manhole Swamp, guys I bumped to in the Red Pill world, maybe 20-25% of those men are really ready to do the work. The rest of them just want to talk shit. And I'm sitting here listening to you. It's like, because they're bitter. It's because of the envy. They're mad at mom and dad. Mommy told me everybody gets a trophy. Like, well, and here I am telling them, nah, bro, no, the world doesn't owe you shit. If you want it, you got to go take it. And I'm not saying illegally. I'm like, you got to do the work, become the better person, the best version of yourself, and then you will glean the reward. So, bro, I just want to thank you, man. I didn't get a chance to give you your flowers, bro, because you were like, you're 10 years in now. I missed your anniversary. You had a couple. Yeah, bro. So
2014, March 23rd, 2014 was the 10-year anniversary.
Bro, congrats. I'm sorry I'm late on that. And you were down, like you were in, South Florida. I didn't get a chance to go down there. I saw you with my guys, Miami and Fresh. I'm like, oh, I should have been down, you know what I mean? But it's good to see you, you know what I mean? Definitely keep leading from the front. You're definitely motivating those like myself and others to help men. And man, these dudes need the help, bro. I had no idea how many weirdos are out here, bro. I knew it was a couple, but Jesus Christ, man, there's so many of them. And they're guys that
in what area specifically? Like, where are you finding these weirdos?
I mean, I'm finding them everywhere, bro. I'm working with Fresh and Fit, and we're setting up this network of guys, and all over the world, mostly in America. But these guys, I'm helping.
Castle Club thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm helping with Castle Club, and bro, you're not seeing it as much because you're going after you're putting out there, you want the best. You're going out there like, hey, when you come over here, either you're going to be top tier or we're getting rid of you. This is the other side of that. We're just looking to help everyone. And man, there's everywhere. They're all over the place, man. The shit that they're doing, the things that they cry about. These guys watch that After Hours on Fresh and Fit, and they like to dunk on these women and talk about how these women are subpar and stupid. Well, I'm talking to these
They're
dudes,
the ones signing up for their OnlyFans afterwards, by the way.
Yes, dudes, man.
They will be there in the comments shitting on the bimbos, and then they'll pay for the OnlyFans afterwards.
Them dudes, those are the guys. And yes, they can be helped. I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. Like, and again, thanks to you and some others, I'm like, it is worth it. I'm doing the work by trying to help these guys. It would be so easy just to walk away and just enjoy my life. But I'm like, nah, I want to help these dudes. I want to stop the next weirdo from climbing on top of a roof and popping some rounds off at somebody. You know what I mean?
That's not a problem with, like, somebody did this post on Twitter last week, and it kind of pissed me off because it was a photograph of the last 4 shooters, basically, right? And the caption was something along the lines of, being ugly makes you do stupid shit. And it's like, no, it doesn't. I know
Yeah.
lots of ugly people that don't do stupid shit because they're rich as fuck and they're focused on what they're doing. Being ugly isn't the problem. Being uncalibrated to society, being like not knowing how to deal with rejection, those are the things that cause you to lash out and throw a hissy fit. I talk about it in my book, right? It's basically the male version of a hissy fit. It's the adult male version of a kid on the ground kicking and screaming, fist punching the ground, legs kicking the ground, crying about not getting what they want. They just do it and they lash out in that sense. And that's a function of shitty parenting. That's a function of society and culture softening and weakening the Western male. And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until I'm done, which may be never. But the message needs to get out there. And it's like, look, man, use something like simping. You know, we talked about how you get these guys that are like in the comments and they're calling them bimbos and 304s and this and that. And then they'll go sign up for the OnlyFans afterwards, right? And it's like, okay, let's talk about that toxic behavior, because that's what it is. You're supporting bimbos on the internet that you don't even like, that won't even acknowledge your existence, so that you can throw your $9.99 into a pile of tens of thousands of other nerds paying $9.99 a month. Stop it. You cancel it. You get rid of porn. You get blocking, you know, on your computer if you absolutely need to. Get some sort of a blocking program to stop you from getting into porn, to stop you from signing up for OnlyFans. And then you adopt healthier habits. Go to a gym, go to a dojo, get punched in the face. Do things that are going to be difficult to get you away from the toxic stuff that's anchoring you down, right? It's not difficult. It's not.
It's not at all, bro. And the biggest thing is you do all those things, you begin to see the change. You begin to see women coming around. And one of the things that man, it gets under my skin and it pisses me off. I'm like, bro, when you finally get some, that being some attention, or you finally get some sex, or you finally get some, you know, acknowledgement from people, keep pushing forward. Don't stop and revert to how you used to be.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the biggest things, bro. They'll get, you know, some girl, they'll get the neighborhood, you know, the neighborhood bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get on there. They'll get that quick little ride. Now they're in love.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, bro, what are you doing? And they stop. They stop pushing forward.
Options. That's a problem, man. It's a big problem.
Yeah, it's a problem. So just keep doing what you're doing, brother. I want to just give you your flowers. I want to thank you, man. Next time you're down in the States, especially if you're here in Tampa, man, I'm definitely gonna come shake your hand. Martha's also down here, bro. So if you come down here, bro, I give you my word. I'll take you to the range. I'll bring out all my toys. Your shoulder's gonna get bruised up, brother.
Are you in one of the groups?
Now we're doing our own thing. So I just been trying to, you know, I want to kind of stay available for you guys. Because I'm it's mind refresh, and then there's me helping them set up that city group thing. So I'm you can imagine how busy I am right now.
Yeah.
But yo, you come down here, even if make it to Orlando, bro, I'll grab the M14, the AK, the ARs, about the sidearms. We'll come out. We'll have a good day. Like I said, you're gonna get bruised up here, but you know me, everything else is gonna be everything.
All right, deal. Thanks, man.
Take care, brother.
Yeah. All right. I see Chris in the chat, and I want to bring him in before he waits too long, because I know he's busy. Chris, you're going to share your story?
Hey, Rich. How are you doing?
Good, man.
No, I just want to say thank you, man, publicly for what you did. You literally saved my life, man. And, you know, still doing what I have to do. And
spell it out, man. What was the problem, and what did you do to fix it?
Well, we went on a hike as a group, year and a half ago, kind of thing.
A couple summers ago, yeah.
And I noticed the legs were bugging me on the way up, and didn't think anything of it. Long story short, heart attack, all that other bullshit, just a lot of health issues, just treating myself like garbage, diabetic since 3, insulin dependent, treated my body like shit. It was my own stupidity. And I was diagnosed with peripheral vascular disease recently, about 8 and 9 months back, and the doctor says you got 2 years tops to live if you're lucky. You put me in touch with our mutual friend, and man, it literally saved my life, man. And been able to cut my insulin by 70%, and then recently went on the insulin pump, and that's been able to trim it by another 20%. Completely changed my diet. Um, yeah, just eating clean, no bullshit processed food, eat once a day. And just changing my mindset about life in general. I used to think I had to work 100 hours a week kind of thing. And dude, if I can work 30 hours a week, I do. Um, it's about experiences now. Um, got back into some hobbies that I'd given up.
Saw that.
And really, really enjoying it. And just life's all about living now, man. It's not about this. You know what I mean? But you need that to make it happen. But it's about leaning on good people around you and surround yourself with good people.
That's the point.
The health wise, like it's been 7 months, and I've been able to take my testosterone from 230 to 570 without any
naturally too, right?
Naturally.
Yeah. Good.
And yeah, man, I honestly, I got you to thank for it, man. You put
proud of you, buddy. No, hey, look, man, I just pointed you to the work and you did it. Most people don't. They'll just look at the work and be like, I don't really like that. Can you give me another option?
But you know what?
There's no other option.
And there's no giving up either. I'm not going to coast now that I'm getting there, you know?
Yeah.
You got to get up every morning and you just get up and you do your exercises, drink water, drink coffee, and that's it. And take yourself.
Remember that guy that I quoted before, Sean Stevenson?
Yep.
So when he was a kid, they basically said, you're not going to live very long. Like, they told his parents basically, like, he's going to die pretty soon, right? Because he's got this disease where his bone just keep breaking, even if he sneezes, sort of thing.
Yep.
And he made it his goal to outlive the doctors that told him that he was going to die within a short period of time. So the next goal for you, if I can present it to you, is to outlive the motherfucker that said that you were going to die in 2 years.
I actually told him I'll piss on your grave.
There you go. That's it. All right, man. Thanks
so much.
Yeah. Guys, like, stories like that, that's what it looks like. It's dressed in overalls and looks like work. You've got medical issues. Again, the problem is most people don't do shit about it until, they're throwing up, they're pissing blood. They, they got like turbo diarrhea for 5 days straight. They pass out climbing the stairs. Like, that's when they'll start to do things, right? And you never want to let it get to that point, because it's harder to turn the boat around at that point and navigate in the correct direction. You don't have a lot of ground to do so. So the sooner you do it, the better it is for you. This ain't for me. This ain't for anybody else around you. This is the sort of stuff that you should be doing for yourself. And look, man, if you're a dude and you got kids, you got a family, you got obligations, you got employees, you should feel the responsibility of managing and maintaining good health so that you can live a long time to serve and to guide them. This is what men do. This is what makes men good at being men, and also being a good man is having the ability to do those things. And you can't really do that shit from 6 foot under in a grave, can you? Just at the chat real quick here, I'm finding the biggest problem is the inability to comprehend the concepts in the books, and bad teachers too that can't really comprehend the material that well. Be careful who you follow. The concepts in the books. I'm not sure what you mean, Brian. Maybe you can pop in and let me know what that goes to. Let's grab Alf over here and see what he's got for us. Alf, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Rich? I've been listening to you for quite some time, brother. It's good to finally catch you guys on a live, and just same thing as the previous guy. Just wanted to say thank you. Do want to say thank you. You look great. It's been 3 years since I first found you, and fuck, brother, it's been an honor to listen to you and all your crew. And
what's changed in your life personally? What's improved?
Fuck, I can curse, right? I mean, everything.
Less, but yeah, sure.
Everything, bro.
What were you doing wrong?
Everything. Chasing girls, not focus on myself. No good examples. I mean, there was there was nothing good except for just hard work. And you're right. The change is the overalls. You know, looks
It's in the
the
overalls.
work.
Yeah, putting on the overalls and putting in the work.
But I mean, it's a little more than that, right? It's because I've worked hard, brother, all my life. I'm 33. I've worked hard since I was a child, just making money since I was 12. I mean, 10 years old making money, you know. But that hard work, it was frustrating because mastering different things like carpentry, mechanics, and all that stuff. Still, though, my self-image was horrible, and when I changed that, everything else was better.
Have you heard the concept of the mind's eye?
No, I've never heard it put like that, but I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so let me tell you the book summary on psycho-cybernetics. So basically, I first heard this concept, I think it was Brian Tracy, when I was a kid. I was 19. My dad gave me a cassette tape. Okay, so this is really aging. It was a cassette tape that I could play. And he was talking about how your mind's eye shapes the world around you. Okay. And they say that there's this third eye, you know, somewhere in your forehead, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine, whatever. There's an image that you form of yourself in your own head. And that image is how you're going to operate in the world. So back to the book, Psycho-Cybernetics. This guy was I think he was a rhinoplasty surgeon and a burn victim surgeon. So he would do nose jobs and he would try to repair burns, like burn victims.
Correct.
And no matter how strong the improvement was in their look, right? He could fix a fucked up nose, he could fix burns and make the skin look normal and natural. If their mind's eye reflected a negative opinion, if their mind's eye reflected back to them the busted up nose or like the burns on their skin, no matter how good they look, they still maintain that image of themselves and they held themselves in a lower regard. Right. So improving your self-image is a very big component of that. I'm glad you brought that up. Changing the opinion that you hold of yourself, increasing the value that you hold yourself in, but also doing the work to get there. Like you can't strut around. You know, there's this joke about pigeons. You know, it's like, you know, a lot of the times dealing with idiots on the internet is like playing chess with a pigeon. It's gonna knock over the pieces and strut around like it won the game anyway. Right. So, you know, you can hold the high opinion of yourself, but make sure that you're moving in the direction of actually being that version of yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you just hold a high opinion of yourself and strut around like a pigeon, you're gonna look like an asshole, and people are gonna laugh at you.
Yeah, and really, I mean, I worked hard. I'm Mexican, you know. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and I worked. I don't know why I worked so hard, brother. I lost my pops when I was real young, and I always try to prove something to someone. And
well, Mexicans that come to the States will work their ass off, but I mean, the thing is that you also have to learn how to work smart too, so that you're not just exchanging time for money. Because if you get yourself in the cycle of always working hard, there's only so much that you're going to get paid per hour of work, and it doesn't matter if it's $50 an hour, $500 an hour, $5,000 an hour. You always got a cap. And working smart means leaning into the other areas that let you multiply and make money even when you're asleep. You know, for example, right?
That's right. Some of the poorest people in the world work hard all their life.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I just wanted to say thank you. You're a super champ, and I know you realize what you've done and how many people you've helped, but that magnitude is tremendous.
I just try to set the example, brother. That's it. Thanks, man.
Have a good one.
Take care. All right. Let's do Jesse, and we'll probably wrap it up shortly after that. Jesse, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Rich. Everything you guys said earlier was very relatable. So, you know, we talked a lot about the whole anger thing, but the thing is, you know, I am going through a lot of that. If you see my posts on the SOU, I'm a late bloomer. I've shared my story. So, making up for a lot of lost time and trying to develop those marketable skills that I can, get paid well for. But just there's like running any business, there's going to be a lot of frustration involved that I have to kind of sort through. So the thing is, you guys say it's good to be angry, but at the same time, being angry like a lot isn't necessarily good for your mental health. Especially I'm a guy who is also trying to improve my social and dating life as well. That, when I'm going out for like lunch with other business people, or, there's a girl that I've been talking to in my social circle that I've been trying to set up a date with next week. When I show up to these things, just, I don't want to give the impression that I'm just like very uptight or just like constantly like stressed about business, even, when it's time for me to kind of like relax and socialize.
You want to talk about harnessing that anger?
Yeah, exactly. And not just.
So I think a really good way to sort of break it down in a physical sense, we had a guy on earlier that was talking about doing Muay Thai and how when he dropped his hands, the coach punched him in the head.
Justin, yep.
Yeah. So I did boxing training one-on-one twice a week for 3.5 years straight. And I learned real quick never to drop my hands because I got the same treatment. That's what coaches will do, right? It's like they'll see an opening and they'll tell you, keep your hands up because you want to protect your head. And they'll just slap you across the head. And the first couple of times you get angry, but you're like, okay, well, that's all my fault for dropping my hands. He said, stop dropping your hands. And I kept dropping my hands. So I took a slap across the head. But again, you block, you parry, you get the, you get the shots out of the way. And then when you get into the sparring session with coach, that's when you show him, what you got. So it's okay to get angry, but use the anger. You have to channel it into something. Like, for you, one of the things that we've talked about is, getting the weight, down to a healthy level. Right. And the struggle that guys will always have with the girls is subscribing to the notion that you're fine just as you are and not getting angry at what you look like. Like you should put up a poster or a screensaver of the ideal male physique, not in a gay way, but just to know what you should get to, what you should aim for, and be angry every day that you're not there.
Exactly.
And as you look at it and you look at yourself and you're like, fuck, I'm not there yet. It's like, okay, put in more steps, eat more protein, lower, sugars and things that are going to make you fat. Move more, sleep better, recover, all that stuff. You know what to do. Like, what the moves are. It's just executing them and not milling on the anger or what do I do next or what's the next step. Just make the next step. In the absence of clarity, move in that direction. Get to the point where it's muscle memory, right? Like I can get into a gym. I'm an old man now. I can get into a gym. I can feel my way around. I can find the dumbbells. I'll know where the chair is. Like I'll know where to move. I'll know how to put on the plates and make sure the bars are the right level and move them. Like I can do it with my eyes closed. It's all muscle memory, right? I don't have to think that much about the movements, where my elbows need to be. It's the same thing, if I get back into sparring, right? I know where my hands need to be. I know where I have to block and drop my elbow if he's going to come down on my body because it becomes muscle memory. You shouldn't be asking questions still like, how do I stay motivated? How do I channel? How do I move this anger into something productive? It's keep doing the reps over and over and over and over and over and over again until it becomes muscle memory.
Cool. I know we had that little hiccup in the morning, but I'm just hoping to hop onto your Q&As in the future. The ones you have the coffee with Coop in the mornings. I just look forward to those. Yeah.
Next time, man. Next time we'll see you there. All right. See you. Thanks. Okay, I got a couple more here. We're gonna tear through real quick. Moff's in the chat, and it's like, what is your daily routine, right? Like, show me what you're doing throughout the day, and I'll show you exactly where you're going wrong. In fact, if you jot down what you're spending your spare time when you're not sleeping or eating, if you jot down what you're spending your spare time and look at it, you're going to tell yourself exactly what you're doing wrong in your daily routine. I mean, do you need me to take a highlighter and highlight it and fucking yell at you? I can do that, but it shouldn't be necessary, right? I got two more. So let's do Travis real quick. And we got Victor as well. Travis, what do you got from your buddy?
Hey, Rich, I got a really good one for you here.
Okay.
I want to first off just thank you for really kind of helping me turn my life around. I've
Yeah.
seen a couple of Instagram messages, but I've got myself to a point. I play minor pro hockey overseas in Europe, and I'm heading off for the season to Spain, like middle of September-ish. And
Nice.
the last like 6
How old are you?
months, just turned 28.
Nice.
And I'm heading off for the season. And in the last like 6 to 8 months, I found this really, really good girl that kind of meets all the things that you talk about, being a complement to your life, agreeable, not causing problems, looking for ways to add value, just like a really, really solid, traditional feminine woman.
Mhm.
And with that being said, like I'm also going away for X amount of time with traveling with hockey. So I kind of wanted to get your 2 cents on like managing a long distance relationship. Am I sleeping on options here? Like what if I'm missing anything as well? Because like she really
Where do you
is-
live?
Sorry,
Where do you live right now?
Vancouver full time.
Okay, so she's in Vancouver.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And how long are you gone for?
Gonna be leaving middle of September. The season finishes beginning of February, and then my agent and I have talked about trying to finish the season in another country, so probably like end of March, beginning of April-ish.
Are you in the caliber of getting recruited to like NHL, or are you just below that? Like you're going to pay like in a couple of European leagues, you'll get a couple of trophies, make a little bit of money.
Like there's not a lot of money in minor pro hockey. Like a lot of the money
Yeah.
that I make is from podcasts, just enough
Yeah.
hockey-based podcasts. The
Mhm.
money from hockey is nice, but it's just like extra spending money. So that's kind of like where I guess financially where I'm sitting.
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine this weekend. His son does really well, went to a private school, and he's probably going to start playing in Europe. But he's like, it's like 99% of the guys that like, try to get into the NHL never actually make it. So, yeah, I get that angle. Look, forget about the chick. Okay. She's nice. She's a compliment to your life, blah, 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 blah. But you've got a project that you're working on. You got a purpose that you're on. You got a little dent in the universe that you're on. And you're talking about this podcast, which you said seems to be more important part of the project.
Yes, sir. You're getting close between like I do a YouTube vlog and the podcast, and then with hockey, hovering around that like low 6-figure mark.
Okay, good. And the podcast you can run from pretty much anywhere. So you can do this while you're in Spain.
Yep, it's remote. My co-host and I, we do it every single week, whether
Nice.
I'm here, Winnipeg, Vancouver, Europe. It's always been
Nice.
every
Good.
single week.
Good. So keep doing that. And man, if she's around when you get back, then that's great. She's proven that she's a strong candidate for something long term. But trust but verify. Because a lot of the times these fucking chicks, they'll tell you, "Oh, I love you and I'm only with you," and blah, 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 blah. And when you're gone, guys in the military see this all the time. Like they'll marry a woman, get deployed, and they'll come back and they're gone for a while, and somehow she's pregnant and it's not him, or she's banging somebody else. Women will move around very, very quickly. So don't get too attached to her. Just, stay in contact, do your thing, play the hockey, do the podcast, whatever. Just, see what she does while you're away. And when you get back, and a strong indicator, like a good sign would be like, "Hey, Travis, I got these 4 days open in this month coming up, in 6 weeks. I'd like to come out and see you, for 4 days. Would that be cool?" And, she puts together the scratch to come out and see you and pay for it.
It's interesting you
And
mentioned
treats you well
that.
while you're
We've
there.
actually brought that up a couple times where
Good.
I'd like to come see you for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I will say, so I just turned 28. She just turned 29. She does have the baby rabies, which I can sense.
There you go. There it is.
Like she's already been trying to pressure me in. Like she wants kids in like a 2 to 3 year timeline, and I've tried to explain to her that with playing hockey and all the things that I've set up, I need like a 3 at the earliest, ideally 5-year timeline, and then she'll try to give it. Well, that doesn't work for me, and try to use the guilt and the shame. But I think she knows at the end of the day, if you want to have a good setup for the kids, you got to let the man get his shit together first, which she does seem to be on board with. But she also kind of comes back to it every now and then, usually that time of the month. So, she's an architect.
She make good money?
I think she's hovering around like 70, 80-ish.
Okay, so less or more than you at this stage?
Less,
yeah. Look, man, don't let other people make their problems your problems. That is an unfortunate consequence of being a chick, and they need to recognize it. And it's just the reality of the world that you're in, right? It's like, of course she's going to want the Chad genes of a fucking hockey player, right?
Yeah.
Guys like you are built like a brick shithouse, right? You can get hit by 5 guys at the same time up against the boards and walk away, no problem at all. So of course she's going to like that. That's what women dig, about masculinity and men. So if it's not her, it's going to be somebody else, right? You're on your purpose, you're on your grind, set the boundaries, do what you're doing. If she wants to wait, if she wants to, be there, if she wants to come out and visit you, awesome. But don't I'm sure coaches start to tell you stuff like this when you travel around, you do stuff like that. Like just don't fuck up. Like, here's how guys in your space can fuck up. Don't do these things. And ask coach for some advice in that area based on your travels, because he's watched hockey players like you over the years make certain mistakes, especially with women. And these guys want their players to do well, so they're going to dispense some useful advice to you.
Your one red flag for the tattoos, which I got in the audiobook for your book, man, if that's like 99.9% of the time, like anytime that you actually like this one, there's a girl I was talking to a while ago. I asked her if she had any tattoos. She said, I have 10. I said, well, this doesn't work for me. And she said, why? I said, because if you have any tattoos, you have anxiety and depression. And she came back with, well, just because I have anxiety and depression doesn't mean I have tattoos.
Right.
Which I thought, which is batting 100% on this one. And I know you got to go. I'll leave you with this one last note. I was skating this morning, 6:45 skate, and she said, I want to come. So she got up with me, 5 a.m., coffee's ready. She comes, she sits there, she'll like take little videos and send them to me for after. Like she's a real trooper.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to find, but.
Well, she's a fan. And you want a chick to admire you, right? You don't want to be the guy admiring her. You want to be the admired, because women are hypergamous. They want to look up at you, right? Mm-hmm. So it's ideal in that type of scenario. There'll be women out there that'll tell you the opposite, but who cares? It's fucking stupid. Don't listen to that stuff.
So to recap, though, keep an open line of communication. Just kind of see how things go. If she's around and she has that GBD, great. If not, well, then the writing's there, and maybe the baby rabies kind of steers her another direction.
You're an athlete. You're a good-looking guy. You'll have no trouble finding a replacement that's younger, hotter, sharper, tighter, all that stuff, right? It's like, it's your plan. There's only one driver's seat in the car, and you're in it. Drive the vehicle where you want it to go. Offer her the passenger seat. If she doesn't want it, then the door's unlocked. She can get out.
It's a good way of putting it. I got one last question for you, though, Rich. As far as like your community stuff, I've been really kind of like looking into that. That's something that has to be like 100% full time, though. Like if I'm doing hockey and this is kind of on the side, just wait till it's a full time thing.
You can hop into the School of Unplugging anytime. It's $129 a month. It's fucking peanuts for the content that's in there. Plus, you can post in the discussion board any time of the day. There's Zoom calls throughout the week. There's usually 3 Zoom calls a week on topics anywhere from dating, investing, crypto, strength training, lifting. I added a new session. Jesse had alluded to it, where I do coffee with Coop in the morning. So, I'll get up, I'll make myself a cup of coffee and flip on the Zoom, and we'll just shoot the shit. So there's lots of opportunities to use it when you want to use it, but the prices will be going up as time goes on, because really the content is way more valuable than what I'm charging for, but you get locked in, like you get grandfathered in.
That's awesome, man. One more thing, just again, thank you so much. I discovered your content after dating a chick with BPD about a year and a bit ago, and kind of all the things you were talking about, just kind of, it all just made sense. So thank you for that. And thank you for all the work.
Thanks, man. See you, bud.
See you.
All right. We got Icarus here. Let's do this one. Icarus, what do you got for me, buddy? You got to unmute yourself. You're muted. There you go. Hello. All right. We're having problems with Icarus's audio. Let's pull him out. We'll do Vic. Victor, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Rich. Business question for you.
Yeah.
You running consult by minutes, right? How you ended up session when minutes is out? Like, what do you say, or you just hang up the call, or how does it work?
Oh, okay. So if somebody books like a 30-minute call?
Yeah.
Well, most people I find are pretty attentive to the amount of time that they book. Like they're aware that they've paid for 30 minutes of my time. So when it gets to like 20, 25 minutes, they're like, I want to make sure I get these questions because we're almost out of time. I don't really have to manage it. And that's usually how it goes, to be honest with you. When I was using the bill by the minute system, Clarity, which is still out there, like I still have the links. I still left it active, but I don't generally use it because my Calendly one is a better system for me, and it's actually priced lower. But on the per the minute type of systems, the way that I would do it is I would tell them at the very start of the call. It would take me 10 seconds. I'd be like, hey, thanks for booking the call. Just a quick heads up. The way this works is that it bills by the minute. So even if you booked a 15-minute session, we go for 17 minutes. It's going to bill you for the full 17 minutes. Okay, so what do you got for me, sort of thing. So I didn't want to eat up their time explaining how it works, but I just wanted to remind them at the start, if it's a by the minute system, that they'll be billed up until the call ends. So if they want to go for 37 minutes, they'll be billed for 37 minutes.
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
Thank
you.
All right, man. See you, buddy. All right. I think we are solid for today. We got a good hour and 15 in, a lot of views. It's been a good time chopping it up, guys. What I will do again is I will drop the links for the school. You should be on my email list below. If you are, you got the email today, which gave you the opportunity to join the preschool of Unplugging, which is free. I will grab that link and drop that in the chat right now. Free. This is only going to be until we hit like 500 members. We actually drew the line in the sand at 250. It looks like we're at 455 right now. But where the magic happens is in the paid group. You will get what you paid for. And it's currently 129 in the School of Unplugging. And again, this is where you're getting our weekly Zoom calls. There's usually 2 to 3 per week. You're getting the discussion board, which I and Moff are both interactive in. So if there's something that pops up that needs our attention, we will respond to that. We're going to have a book club, which is launching next month as well. I generally listen to an audiobook once every month and a half. So rather than just doing it solo, what I'm going to do is when I've got the book that I'm going to go through next, it'll be posted. We'll go through it on our own time, I guess, and I'll have in the calendar scheduled the book club review, and we can all get together and sort of chop it up. What else is going on there? There's all the classroom material. There's the stuff that unlocks over time. Guys, just get in. Trust me. The School of Unplugging is well worth its value, and it will be going up. So here is the School of Unplugging. This is the one you want to get in with all the good shit. The free one really just has the discussion board. It's kind of a staging area. It's just a sort of a beginning place. So there's that. All right. I think we're going to wrap it up on that note. We'll get the outro reel done, and keep an eye out for, I think Moff's got some office hours coming up, but we also have Chopping It Up on Monday. So we'll see you guys later. Peace out. All right, guys. If you enjoyed that podcast, make sure you visit my website at richcooper.ca to learn more about my courses, my book, The Unplugged Alpha, community, or booking me for private coaching. Also, if you are a Canadian with $15,000 or more of credit card debt and what you are doing right now isn't paying off the balances, then visit totaldebtfreedom.ca and hit get a free quote to see if you qualify to settle your credit card debt for less than you owe today over the next 48 months. Make sure you check out the top pinned comment on YouTube for all the links mentioned